Hello, everyone. I'm back. It's 6:02 p.m. So, I am so exhausted and tired, and didn't even do a lot of physical activity. But I think I'm still tired as a result of the sleep deprivation. And as usual, with the forced sleep deprivation, then my body feels weak. My body feels weak. So I can't even think properly because I'm so sleepy and tired. But since it's right after 6 o'clock p.m., I don't want to fall asleep or go to bed or go to sleep at this time. So I guess I'm trying to force myself to stay awake until at least 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And so excuse me. Hold up. Well, I got two topics to talk about in mind. So one of them is the Shanquella Robinson. That's her name. I want to talk about that, but maybe another time, maybe next video or something. But this time I wanted to continue, or maybe I can make it one video. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. But I wanted to make a part two and continue to talk about. Hold on, they're forcing me to yawn. To continue, to talk about um, basically how society wants to keep homeless people down. To continue talking about that. So, sometimes I talk about how my day is, or how my day was, or how the night before was, and then go into the topic of talking about what I really want to talk about. So earlier this morning, it was a black female housekeeper, because they got some of the housekeepers that they're Indian from India, and I think there's a couple of white ones too at this hotel. So the black female housekeeper was blasting loud gospel music on purpose. 8 minutes. I was supposed to do this video this morning, but she stopped it 8 minutes after I started the video. And then it got so disruptive, I was forced to quit. And after I was forced to quit, um, that's when she immediately stopped. So then, when I finally saw who she was, you know, I I film everywhere I walk due to the gang stalking. But it's like I can't publicize everything because the perps trying to. I can't publicize everything because the perps trying to destroy me. You know, excuse me. So for her to be listening to such gospel music before I even put the camera on her, and she was barely even seen. Hiding behind a cart and everything. But I didn't make it public though, because of the online gang stalkers. So but she was giving me mean looks for nothing. And I don't recall seeing her before, but it's like you blasting, like, how ironic. But I know that Masonic fake Christian gospel music is what she was playing when she was blasting right by my door. And then right after that, it's like I went to go eat, and then I came back upstairs to my room, and I noticed 3 cigarettes, and I didn't even take a picture or any video of it, but I need to take a picture three cigarette butts right outside of my hotel room door. Three cigarette butts right outside, like right outside my door. Now I don't even smoke, but I should have taken a picture or something of those three cigarette butts. And I know that number three is symbolic. So so even when I went to go eat and stuff, it was very crowded. I had to wait about an hour to get a table to eat. I didn't eat breakfast, but I ate a hefty lunch, and I figured that I try to make myself just eat once today, since the online perps get on my case about food and eating and stuff like that. But I don't even know if I might cave in and eat dinner, you know. And so and so there was perp activity. I can't even walk out the restaurant. I can't walk out of my hotel room. I can't walk nowhere without perp activity. And it's frightening. And then people's hearts are so cold that they either wait until after you're dead to care about you, or even when you die, they still don't care. Especially black on black. We've been supposedly the most victimized throughout history, but then we're the most cruel towards each other, and especially black on black families. Betraying their own damn families, throwing their own family members under the bus, and sacrificing their own family for money and life insurance. All this Masonic, ghetto stuff. And certain Masonic people pretend to front like they're proper and all that. But, I mean, everything and everybody is just so fake, So anyway, they had a perp that called himself Derp, which rhymes with perp, and he tried to dox where I was at, and I had to hurry up. I hoping the other perps didn't see it, but I had to hurry up and delete his comment and block him. And so speaking of jealousy, people want to say, "Oh, I stay away from you because you're too negative, energy draining, and complain too much, whatever." I try to show something good and something positive. But what happened? Me trying to show something good and positive, what they did, I quickly got like over 500 views within less than 18 minutes on my video. Plus, I got up to 19 thumbs up. And then I got a couple of more 100 views on that video, about the quick little video about the fireplace. Shortly after that, what happened? The online perps docked off three thumbs up, and probably switched it from 3 thumbs up to 3 thumbs down. That shows evidence of jealousy right there. That y'all financially well off, living like normal, and I'm sabotaging, struggling to survive. And y'all hating on and jealous. Y'all call me negative, but y'all are jealous of a small little short video about a fireplace. So but life is getting more creepy and more scary, and people saying not to be scared. And it's very hard to try to not be scared. So the restaurant, since it was so crowded, they asked me to sit by the fireplace. I figured I needed to since it was so cold. So I felt like that was a treat. But then after that, I started to get real hot. Like, I don't remember how long I sat there and ate, but I started to get kind of overheated and weak and stuff like that, you know. So then, you know, they had a perp that backed in, and he had a Jeep SUV with one bottom headlight, a black dude with a black female on the passenger side. And when I went to go eat, they had this white female with the baby, and she got an attitude and pushed me out of the way and bumped into me on purpose with her baby. And it was another white female that did that to me a few days ago, earlier this week, or this past week. And she was carrying a baby, like a baby I mean, what do you call that? The baby carrier. And she brutally bumped into me on purpose, um, with the attitude, and didn't even say excuse me or nothing, like as if she wanted to push me, and with vicious hate anger on purpose. So I'm getting it from black and white people, and you know, every now and then I get it from foreign people, but biracial people, it's like kind of weird. I don't really get gang stalked by people who are mixed, like biracial, black and white, but that you know, they don't really follow me around. But there was a point in time, a couple of years ago, I was mainly gang stalked by a whole bunch of elderly white, former military, former Navy. And then I started getting gang stalked by a whole bunch of teenagers, whether it be black or white. And now it's like I'm being back to gang stalked by a whole bunch of elderly white former military again. Because Pensacola is a Navy town. You know, it's a city with naval air bases and stuff, you know. And it's like whether real military or fake military perps that are, you know, real or fake posing veterans or whatever. It's like, even if I do a video talking about somebody that's a fake perp pretending to pose as, because they're paid actors, posing as a military veteran, oh, that's forbidden and I'm not allowed to speak against that. You know. But when it's weird because here in Pensacola, I get gang stalked by mainly white people, but some black people too. But in Mobile, Alabama, I was mainly gang stalked by a whole bunch of black people and hardly any white. So, but in my hometown, New Orleans, it was kind of a mixture, and you could tell those motherfuckers were Masonic. Freaking ridiculous. So, I might have more than one family member that's a targeted individual. Like, I don't even know, because I think the biological brother Sean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's targeted and don't even realize it, because they treat him the same way they treat me, and all under the false name of, oh, y'all mentally slow and retarded. But Wyatt tried to have me to believe that he was being targeted, but then he started doing perp weird shit. I had to cut him off. And there was a point in time I started to question whether or not it seemed like my twin sister being both targeted and being a perp. And the biological mom, Frances, seemed that way too. Seemed like she was like both targeted and acting like a perp. But I don't act like a perp, and I don't perp anybody. I know I never sold out. I know I never made any deals or anything like that. But the biological sister, Ramona, is a total perp with no targeting at all. So, but yeah, I'm just rambling on to try to pass the time and try to keep myself to stay awake, before 9 o'clock, you know, and then I'll let myself try to go to sleep at around then, you know. So after I went to eat that big mega lunch, I thought that I would leave that to be my only meal, but I'm trying to not eat dinner in order to call myself trying to save the little bit money left I have. And the bus, I realized I only got 27 cents in coins, like a quarter and 2 pennies. And so the little bit of money in the bank, I have to find a way to get me a little something. I hate taking $20 out of the ATM and then have to pay extra fee. That's wasteful, you know. But that might be what I have to do in order to get the money, in order to get bus fare for tomorrow, and then break that 20 and break some change. So so afterwards, I came back upstairs to my hotel room, and I laid down and I tried to take a nap, but could not fall asleep. But yeah, I was so sleepy with this sleep deprivation. But let me back up. Right after I filmed the fireplace, and I right after I filmed the fireplace and did the you know, and uploaded the video, and then they brought out my food, and then somebody probably was hitting me with energy weapons and causing me to have a Charlie horse on the right side of my back, but like by my back and my, like below my breast, but on the back side on my rib cage, and for like a good 20 minutes on my right side. And I figured, like, how the hell would I get a random Charlie horse kind of pain for nothing? I'm just sitting there, not moving. And then all of a sudden, just these cramps just come out of nowhere. So that's how I figure it must be direct energy weapon attacks. And also, my hips were hurting really bad. And in the middle of the night, they had my right leg hurting again. So I don't like this I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like the room, but I don't like the air conditioner in this room because the heater won't even stay on, and it's automatic. I don't like those freaking automatic air conditioner and heaters. I like the ones where I can control it. And if I want to keep the air on 85, if I want to keep the heat on 85 degrees and let it run consistent, and the air doesn't, the heat or temperature doesn't automatically change, I would rather me control the heat, like in the other two, like at the other hotel in the other room, and at this hotel in the other room that I was in. Like, if I put the air on 82, the heat on 82, on the other room, it was able to stay consistent until I was able to manually lower or change. But this thing, it automatically adjusts. I can't stand those air conditioners and heaters. So so I'm really feeling like, I can't wait to get out this room, because of that reason. But that's part of the reason why I kind of couldn't sleep last night that well either, because even just now, the even just now, the I was trying to put the heat on 76. After about 15 minutes, it automatically turned off. And so I put the freaking air on 90 degrees. And it's still kind of cool in here. But it's going to stay on consistently without turning off. But the air, I set it to 90, but it looks like it's at 72. See? The other ones, I didn't put it on 72, but it's automatically on 72. So, but anyway, so what else happened was I couldn't get a nap. So then I had to use the bathroom, and then afterwards I took me a 45-minute detox bath, which I haven't had since before I went by Trisha. Like, before I went by Trisha's house, and I was still staying in that motel, and I was able to take me, the detox baths. So it's my first detox bath since then. And so, excuse me, hold on. Oh, excuse me. So then I took a box of, like a 4 pound box of, or is it 1 pound? No, it was a 1 pound of box. Oh, they hit me with energy weapons, causing me a headache. One box of baking soda. I mean, 1 pound box of baking soda. Not the big 4 pound. I meant to say 1 pound box of baking soda. And I put like one of those hotel cups, the drinking cups that you put the coffee in. I filled that up with some of the external bentonite clay. And then the other one, another cup, I filled up with the Epsom salt. And so the Epsom salt had pink Himalayan salt and bergamot and orange oil or something. I'm like, no wonder it was smelling kind of good. So I soaked for about 45 minutes, and then I took a bath. And at the beginning I thought the water was too hot, but I forced myself to tolerate it. But I put the air on 60, made the room real, real cold. So, and plus I put a bottle of water on the side of the bed, you know. I'm sorry, on the side, on the side of the tub, like on the top of the side of the tub, not on the floor, but on the top of the side of the tub, in case if I were to get overheated or thirsty or whatever, because detoxing and stuff. And people say that being targeted, you gotta detox, detox the nanotechnology and whatever direct energy weapons, whatever toxins they try to ruin you with, because they poison you different ways. So then I came out. It was exactly 5 o'clock when I got out of the tub. And then I guess I was perusing the internet. Is that the right word? I was, surfing the internet and stuff on, YouTube and a little bit of Twitter. And now I figure, since I guess I'll just do a YouTube video, is despite how tired I am, I can't even think properly. But since I rambled on for like over 23 minutes now, I might as well split this into a different, because this is just like random open talk rambling on. But it wouldn't seem right for me to ramble on with miscellaneous talk for like over 25 minutes and then go into a topic. Unless but people would get disappointed with that. So excuse me. So I guess maybe I'll just do 3 separate videos. I didn't realize it was gonna take me this long just to talk like about my day in general and stuff. But as tired as I am, I'm forcing myself to talk in a video and stay awake. And so now, yeah, I just might have enough money for a couple of more meals. Then I have to go back out on the streets tomorrow. Check out the hotel at 11 o'clock and be back on the streets tomorrow. And the weather is supposed to be tolerable. And Google seemed like they switched their mind about it raining so much this week. And that it's supposed to be warmer week until Friday and Saturday. And then it's supposed to be cold. And then it's supposed to warm back up again. And I think, I don't know, but I think Friday is supposed to rain. But Thursday is Thanksgiving, and if I don't have help with the hotel room, then, if I were to get help with the hotel room, if I were to get like Wednesday night with help with the hotel room, then Thursday I would have um I would have to either be stranded. I mean, get out the hotel room at 11 o'clock and then be stranded with nowhere to go. But Thursday, if I were to get a hotel room Thursday, then I would be stranded with nowhere to get to the hotel. But then I guess I don't know if the buses will be running on Friday. So but the place where I go take a shower will be open on Friday, but the library is supposed to be closed on Thursday and Friday. But, even though the weather Thursday won't be so bad, but the thing is, being homeless on the streets and basically having really nowhere to exist. Or, what I don't know what businesses will be closed. It's very hard, and if you got to use the bathroom and no place you can go to use the bathroom, I don't know what restaurants will be open. And I don't even know if people will be friendly or nice and donate me any money for food to eat, since I be like nearly broke. And so I was telling y'all I got frustrated and said, well, all these job rejections, then fuck job hunting and fuck workplace mobbing. Some people were saying that they would say that, if a job rejected you, then that might be a blessing in disguise, because you don't have to worry about the workplace mobbing or something horrible happening to you. But I'm sitting here, been battling for the past few years, and they're blocking me and won't let me get back on my feet. So I might as well I'm not gonna pause it and do another video. I might as well, just since this turned into the topic, I wanted to say excuse me. So remember yesterday I was at the storage unit, and I was talking about the lady on the bus, with the ladies on the bus, well, with the white lady that seemed like she could have been on drugs, and she was working at Waffle House, and she stood me up and lied to me about that $500 trailer. Well, the black lady, she she sat there and she heard the white lady telling, about the she heard her telling me about that trailer. So why didn't the black lady, why she wait till Thursday when it was really cold? She wait till then to tell me about these roommate houses, and said that her brother-in-law, somebody, that she had a daughter-in-law or something. I don't remember. I know she said her son's wife, that she got some property, and that was it her daughter-in-law's uncle or something like that. I don't remember, that he got some property, or that he does rooming houses. Well, how come she didn't offer me that suggestion last month when the other lady was offering me about the trailer? I mean, that's why I say, even whether it be your own black people or other races of people, it don't even matter the race or the color. But I'm pointing this out because black people, they're most notorious for doing it to their own kind. Seem like they may be better off than you, but still jealous and want to see you fail. I'm already failed as a homeless person, but you don't even want to help me get back up. I mean, that lady sitting there trying to argue me that they got shelters. Yeah, they got shelters, but they don't have much for single women out here. And I explained all that too. But that REAP program is for druggies and men or something like that, you know? Yeah, there's always these substance abuse programs for homeless in order to reinforce the um homeless people are always on drugs and do substance abuse, and not all homeless people do it. So it ain't, I mean, even in Los Angeles, they had always had these programs that I'm a single disabled female, and they had all these programs to help you get off out of your situation if you were on drugs. And I'm like, what the hell kind? I was still trying to figure things out, But people want to, oh yeah, they got shelters, they got shelters. You just like being out there. No, but you want me to, you want to make the false narrative that, oh, you like, because you jealous and want me to suffer, sadistic and jealous and want me to suffer. So yeah, I'm saying, like, why that black lady, why she didn't tell me last month about the rooming house idea, and then, you know, when I said that, I didn't feel comfortable with living I mean, she even admitted that it was nothing but crackheads and drug addicts living there and alcoholics. And then she tried to make like, oh, they quiet and they stay to themselves, and you got a room or whatever. And then when I started to question, certain things, and then she started getting mad and defensive and stuff, and try to make me out to look really crazy, and then gaslit me and got an attitude and ignored me when I try to ask her, like, why you act like you want to insinuate that I want to be, or that I enjoy being out there on the streets in the cold. I mean, you trying to make me out to seem as crazy as possible because you can't narcissistically get the control you want out of me. As I said, somebody must have put stuff in her head. And as I said, she was the happiest and nicest towards me. Now she acting like she can't stand me, and that's going to be a problem, because if I got to ride the bus every day, I would hate to ride the bus with her and her thinking she got the authority to punish me with the silent treatment or get an attitude or roll her eyes if I got to get on the bus. And there would be tension. That would make me feel uncomfortable riding the bus with her. Now they're trying to give me the fucking hiccups. So, wow, that was strange. Seemed like just one hiccup. Right when I say they're trying to give me the hiccups, then they stop. But now they're trying to force me to yawn. Excuse me. I never heard of having just one single hiccup. That's how I know that's them. They're trying to throw me off track. And then the online person be like, look at her, she can't even stay on topic. She wander off from topic to topic. Well, don't watch my damn videos, bitch. So, so I mean, like that lady from Twitter tried to lure me to Colorado, and I'm glad she revealed herself before I went up there. So I mean, and then they had this person that I let my guard down and talked to her on the phone and gave her my email and phone number. And Friday when I talked to her, but now I feel hesitant because, see, at first she talked like she's a strong Christian, and then she first she was saying that she wanted to make it like she wanted to encourage me to let it out and don't let nobody silence me talking about the gang stalking. Then after some time, we both talked, and then she let me do some talking about some recent experiences with fake TI perps. And then she changed her tune or changed her narrative to, oh, well, ignore them, live your life, and stop talking about them because, oh, then you will you don't want to be a threat, do you? So stop being a threat and stop talking about them. But then she wanted me to go to another area in Louisiana by her. And it's like, well, and she's like, oh, I just live in a, I ain't nobody, I'm just by myself. And I mean, I was just paraphrasing what she said. She said, I ain't got nothing special. You know, she said she just got a little trailer to live in, and that she got an alternative room for me. But then she's like, well, I don't care. It's not important to me. I don't care who put me in this program or when I was in this program. Oh, that don't matter to me, and this and that. Oh, my God is bigger than that. Oh, whatever. And so it's like they got people who will put on a Christian front to try to get you to let your guard down or try to manipulate. And this lady has like no videos. So it's like, well, I feel like I can't even really trust you or anybody, you know. And make me, after I went through what I went through with Trisha and what this Colorado lady tried to do, and I let my guard down. So it's like, but then, of course, you know, I don't even know what her motive is. So it's like she want me to go to Louisiana, and she's like, well, don't you want to be off the streets and this and that, whatever? You don't want to be out in the street in the cold, or whatever, you know. And so it's like, as I said, I don't want to be living with nobody, especially if I'm not free to talk about my targeting. Or you butter me up and juice me up, and then wait till after you trap me and capture me, and then you act like you wanted to bully me into silence about my targeting while you talk about fake stuff that didn't exist, like what Trisha did. She got a lot of made up fake stories about herself being targeted when she ain't even fucking targeted. They got some people who are targeted and they're sincere and uncorrupted, like me. And then they have some people who were formerly targeted and then took bribes, sold out, and became a perp. And then they switching back and forth between being targeted and being a perp. And then they have some people who are just straight up posers, pretending to be targeted, and ain't shit going on with them. And they ain't doing really any kind of suffering. And it ain't suffering after somebody exposed the truth about you, your sinister motives. And that ain't suffering. And then you got your smear campaign, and and Trisha is a catfisher. I told y'all she's hell-faced fucking ugly. Uglier than me. I know I'm ugly, but she fucking ugly. And then she puts on his fake wigs, fake lipstick, fake filters, to manipulate and deceive people into thinking she's attractive, hot looking, and pretty. I'm telling y'all, she ain't fucking pretty. So and so then fake TI perps, even if they might hide behind Christianity and the Bible, what they'll do is they'll either blame everything on artificial intelligence or the hive mind, or they'll say, well, they're mind controlled. You got more sympathy and compassion towards the perps, but when you get mad at another TI, you falsely say that, not all TIs are chosen, and they'll get mad and make a smear campaign and bully you and they'll be fucking jealous. So they're try to manipulate you into letting your guard down by trying to be like, well, that's the game. That's part of the game of this program. They want to make you paranoid and make you not want to trust nobody. But it's like people, they got too many wolves and too many people, too many predators, too many wolves, too many people preying on you. Even people who's supposed to be targeted like you, whether they got footage or not. And then they turn around. It's like, how the hell you got gang stalking footage? And you bully and abuse and join in the hate campaign and acting like a perp. Like, come on. Like, that's very confusing and traumatizing. And even so-called TI friends can turn around and be a fake friend. And start moving funny and acting weird. But me, I'm still suffering, still struggling with assertiveness and standing up for myself or speaking up for myself. I'm still speaking up for myself. Still struggling with assertiveness and speaking up for myself. And I still be scared of people or scared to be upfront and stuff like that, because of my trauma and abuses that I've been through. So don't know what I'm not saying that this person is fake, but I don't know her motives though. If she want me to go to Louisiana, but I don't know what she might have. She might, but but somebody who don't really have any footage, and that's what they do. Even Trisha did this. Said, I fully support you and this and that, whatever. And I believe you're a real T.I. and this and that, whatever. And then she manipulated me and got me down there and perked me the whole, every opportunity. Perked and gaslit me and did weird shit. and wouldn't allow me to talk about my targeting. And I think she was trying to be my handler. And so that's what they do. They prey on your situation, and Trisha even manipulated and did this. Oh, Stan, $365 a week. That's too expensive. And she offered a fake solution, and she borrowed money from a friend. She borrowed money from a friend to pretend to fake help me, to manipulate me to get down there. And then what else she did was she unsuccessfully tried to get some of the money. She unsuccessfully tried to get that money back. Like an Indian giver with money that you borrowed from a friend that wasn't even your money in the first place. And then you want to try to be an Indian giver and try to take it back as if it's yours. She even dogged over her friend. Her so-called friend. And it sounded like she tried to the other friend, seemed like she tried to set that friend up too. Her friend Kim. And it seemed like Kim has Stockholm Syndrome. And it's like she worshiped Trisha and basically blinded by Trisha's dirty ways. But I thought that everything was all just weird and funny, and I was even having nightmares when I was by her house. Everything just wasn't right. So, and so when Trisha, just before Trisha got me down there, she was trying to, she was like, it's like, I usually don't have the courage to go online, going person to person like I do in person on the streets, because people won't be they won't hesitate to block you online so that's why I don't even bother to ask person to person, can you help me? So I just make a general announcement saying I need help with the hotel room to get out the cold weather and stuff like that, and if people want to volunteer, then thank you, But Trisha told me to ask Kim for help. And I didn't even feel right or feel comfortable going to Kim personally. But Trisha told me to do it. And then Kim said that she didn't have a way to help me or didn't have the money. I'm like, well, how? You had got $80,000 a year. And Trisha said she was getting $30,000 and she was trying to sacrifice me for $100,000 a year job, a senior management position. And that's crumbs. You gonna sacrifice me for $100,000 a year? You're dumb. You about to sacrifice me for crumbs? So Trisha is definitely an infiltrator and controlled opposition in the TI community, but y'all blinded and manipulated to thinking she's real. And then other so-called real TIs, like the one, I forgot her name, Stephanie or something, into 5D for me or something like that. She only donated me $20 one time and was a recent subscriber. And then she's like, well, I also donated to her and I stopped donating. Well, what you mean stopped if it was only one time? You made it like as if you've been donating consistently. I really am struggling out here. And I can't believe how many lies Trisha told for her to call herself Christian. But she practices witchcraft. What holy Christian would burn black incense? It's just bizarre. I never heard of a holy Christian that would burn black incense. So so Trisha is a witch. She practices voodoo, like powerful, strong voodoo. Very dangerous person. I mean, Trisha was perping me, but she was trying to tell me that she got arrested and the police put her in handcuffs butt naked and she almost got arrested. She said that Kim had disappeared for a while and that they thought she was dead and stuff like that. And she tried to blame Kim, and Kim was supposedly workplace mod. They both had these work at home jobs or whatever. And so they were supposedly living with each other. And then Trisha went to get her own place just in time to try to get me down there. It's like Kim supposedly helped Trisha get her own place and get her, Trisha didn't need Kim's help. If Trisha was getting like $30,000 a year and she drives around in a wrecked up red Hyundai Elantra, that she said some crackhead friends or whatever gave her this car or whatever, and that Trisha was supposedly only homeless for 2 hours and then got off the streets. Like, that didn't even sound right. Like, how the hell you been homeless for only 2 hours? And then she tried to say, well, I'm going to do like the crackheads do, just charge you like $25 a month or something like that, she said. And then when I got there, she was, I get way less money than her. I only get $837 a month. So Trisha lied and said that all she was going to charge me like $25 a month or something like that, she said. And so then when I got there, she tried to ask me for gas money, saying she needed gas money. And so I don't remember how much money I actually gave her. And I don't remember how much money I gave her. I think I gave her $100 or basically more than that. Because I think I reimbursed her the freaking money she donated to me. And then she still tried to get more money, for revenge and being evil. And then they had this Asian person, Vietnamese, that she was PayPaling me like small increments of money, and then she tried to donate some money and then took it back, so I blocked her fucking PayPal account. Like, bitch, I didn't even ask for you to donate me anyway. She was donating me crumbs like $5 here and there or something like that, and maybe a time or two like $25, but then want to be an Indian giver. And it's like, as I said, they're playing all kinds of freaking games on a homeless poor person struggling and suffering, struggling to survive. And workplace mobbing is fucking real. But the online person will tell a false different story and lie and say, nobody made you quit. You quit because you want to, and you quit for an excuse to beg for more money again, which is not the case. But I'm telling the truth from the highest rooftop, and nobody's freaking listening, and they want to believe what they want and have their own false narrative, and just to twist the story and make Candy look bad. So, if you're homeless, people don't want to hear it because these satanic, Masonic, cult homeless shelters that are 501c3 already, for profit or supposedly non-profit. Okay, if you're non-profit and you get all these donations like the Salvation Army and stuff, why the fuck why are y'all charging homeless people to stay in shelters? If y'all already get donations from donations out the ass. And when people expose that the leaders at whatever these shelters give us crumbs and feed us scraps and force us to pay to live in prison, and they pocket all those donations themselves, and you wonder why homeless and poor people can't even, and then it's like the homeless shelters and stuff is a fucking trap. And they make sure it's a perpetual cycle that you can never get out of. And then they want to falsely assume that you must be on drugs, and that's why you're such a failure and stuff. And it's another false smear campaign and lie and false assumption. So and that's what it's like. People that act like they want to yeah, that's what they want. They don't want to see a homeless person get out of their situation, or and then they'll say that they'll try to make like all homeless people are sociopaths who dug their own hole for themselves for failure, and it's not always the case. They got some people who are homeless due to targeting and being abused and tormented by Freemasons and police and all that, and or they got some, or you might end up homeless because okay, you're a widow, a brand new widow. Your husband just died, and he left you nothing, you and the kids, and so then the moment you're a little bit depressed, CPS comes snatch your kids, and you're depressed, and you're just going through it. And then so they try to make like you're a bad person, a failure of a mother, and then going through hell. And some people go through what they go through and suffer sleep deprivation, and people might be like, oh, look at that eyes, you can tell they're on drugs. No, motherfucker, that person ain't on drugs, they've been sleep deprived. Oh, you do heroin. Stop. I mean, y'all just making false assumptions and judging. But some people say that the rich folks are jealous of poor because, oh, they're not a wage slave, or they're free from wage slavery. Or, but it's funny because homeless and poor people be jealous of other homeless and poor who have just a little bit more than they do. But they're not jealous of the super rich, or they don't be trying to rob or kill the super rich people, though. And even in the black community, even in the hood, if a black person living in the projects or in the hood, they just brought a smack brand new Cadillac Escalade, and then somebody shoot and kill you for your Escalade. But the rich white people ain't gonna be jealous or try to take from them. But it's like in your own community, somebody get a step up, and boom. Which brings me to the topic of that Shanquella Robinson person, and people comparing her death to Kanika Jenkins. And I know what it's like to have jealous fake friends who try to manipulate you into thinking that they're there for you, but you see all the signs. And eventually some people say your best friend might as well be yourself. But really, Jesus Christ should be your best friend. But, and we can't even trust ourselves. But the world is becoming more wicked. And it's sad what happened to, what's her name? Shanquella Robinson. And I'm thinking about doing a blog post on it. And she was a Masonic satanic ritual sacrificer. That's why her death blew up. And so, and stuff like that, those people who jumped her and beat her up, they might get let off. And then there might be outrage and there might be outrage out in the streets. But, when she was getting jumped or getting beat up by a whole tranny, and the guy said, Quella, you're not going to fight back? No. It hit home because that reminded me so much of myself. She probably was too injured to fight back or too physically hurt. I mean, I felt like I wanted to cry. And, and they have some people who just betray you and turn against you and stop talking to you for nothing. for nothing.